Welcome to the after party. Welcome to the after party. Did you bring some snacks and treats?
Yes, it did.
I hope you got me something to eat.
Maybe.
Welcome to the after party. Coming to the after party.
Right now.
I've been waiting here all day to act like a fool this way. Welcome to the after party. Join us in the after party.
Right now.
Oh, chocolate and dabbing, maybe some microphone dabbing at the after party.
With DJ Eric, Paige.
With DJ Eric and Paigey. Can't wait to do that. That's gonna be fun. You got some ad libs ready?
Yo.
What are you eating,
Eric.
by the way?
I actually can. Hold on. I took a photo because I knew you would ask because you're very curious. You're a very curious young man, Eric's Reloaded.
Okay.
And so you can reveal to the stream what I'm eating.
Oven baked, not fried.
Yeah. Flavor you can see, even though these have hold on. They have like no flavor. If anything, you can see like a sesame seed for some reason.
Well, you know, Ben would never eat these because these would be classified as crisp in his mind. So
yeah, Ben's got the equivalent of like being scared of water, like drinking water, because he won't eat like chips or crackers or anything. So,
speaking of, where is young Benjamin at?
He probably walked into a convenience store and had like a panic attack because he walked down the chip aisle, like one of the two, something like that.
Let's see. Cal with the super chat. How are you guys doing? I'm doing pretty good. We had a house fire around the corner. I hope everybody's okay. They seem to be wrapping up now. But yeah, it was really loud. Like I was like, I'm gonna be late for the stream because of this.
Well, we know why you were late.
Why is that?
Well, the house was on fire. And we know that Eric went over there and jumped in and started playing Nelly's Hot in Here. And so it was a bit edgy, but also time wasting at the same time. So yeah, that's why we started 5 minutes late.
All right. Well, there we go. Let's see here. But I think everybody's okay. There didn't seem to be any ambulances or anything. So I'm assuming it was okay.
Just the party mobile.
Maybe. What is this? Dominic Purcell made comments on Instagram recently. Someone asked me if we should talk about it. I didn't see anything about it. Is this the old stuff?
I have no idea. I don't really go on Instagram that much.
I don't look for Instagram for like drama. I guess I should probably if I'm gonna be doing that new drama show, right? Wait a minute. It was on Nick's post. I see some other drama with Dominic Purcell, but it's not about the TV shows, and I'm not going to talk about it here. Y'all are trying to set me up. Anna Lynn McCord talks explosive S.E.X with on again, off again boyfriend Dominic Purcell. I don't think that's what you guys wanted me to talk about, but that's a little bit dramatic.
Isn't she the actress that's
actress who what were you gonna say?
What's her name?
Anna Lynn McCord.
Oh yeah, she's in oh no, I'm thinking of someone else. Don't worry. It's all good. I was thinking of someone else.
All right, so it's on one of Nick's posts. Y'all are so like, just tell me which one it is. Like,
No, they want you
What
to
about
do the searching.
what am I
They do-
looking for? You would like to watch me
The
look for things on the internet? Is that what it is?
The trail is never clear, Eric. There's always a couple of logs you have to jump over.
Let's see. It said it was on Nick's post, but the comments look like they've been cut off on that picture. Was it? There's a poster for Legends, but there's no comments on it. Y'all are so just what did he say?
I don't really care.
I don't it's like I don't like well, first of all, let's just say this. I don't take anything he says too seriously, just to begin with.
He's
Like
probably drunk.
he's
probably
like
drunk.
he likes to troll people. So
Yeah. He was probably just on a couple of beers or something and just jumped on Instagram because he was bored.
yeah, who knows? Yeah, so Twitch got this is funny, not related to the Arrowverse at all, but apparently Twitch's source code and everything involved with their billing and their payouts to creators, the Vapor, like the Steam equivalent from Amazon called Vapor that was going to be coming out or whatever. Apparently, all of that has been released to the public. It's been you can download it now and get access to that. So good looking out, Naruto. Yeah, if you have a Twitch account, you might want to, even if you're double authenticated, you probably want to change your password. Gary with the 1 eye in super chat. How long will Courtney be mad at Pat? One more episode, maybe. Courtney doesn't stay angry very long, so not too sure about that. It was in Nick Zano's latest Instagram where someone said Mick is the best character and he came onto them. Really? That's really messy. Was it? But see, I'm not going to dig through the comments for that because I'm pretty sure that Dominic didn't post that as his statement. So I'm not going to dig through the comments for that one. Anyway, I don't know. It's obviously not a big story. I typed in Dominic Purcell into Google, and that isn't even in the top like section about news of him or anything like that. Yeah. Okay. It's a non-story right now. Anyway, I did see the trailer. Legends is trying to pull me back in with a halfway decent trailer. Did you see it? Did you see the Legends trailer?
What, the one from a couple of weeks ago?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I think.
What'd you think?
I watched it. I saw it uploaded. I think I watched it.
Yeah, it's okay. So like they're coming back very soon. Like what? They're like 2 weeks out before they come back. No, next week, right?
Next week, 1 week.
Yeah. Okay, so
we're today. A week from today.
So we're gonna do the watch along with the finale episode on Netflix. If you have Netflix and it's available in your territory, Paige and I are gonna do a blind watch of the finale for this past season of Legends here on YouTube. And the way we're going to do it is I was going to do it as like a members only stream because I don't want to moderate the comments while we're doing it. So we will probably do the stream public, but maybe adjust the chat for members or something. Not totally sure. But anyway, we're going to do that. We're going to watch it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And if you have Netflix, you can watch along with us.
And we do have it. So you know how there's drinking games?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have a twist on that. So we're going to call it the chocking game. So what Eric will do is that in the lead up to the stream, he'll probably give it 5 or 10 minutes, and we'll probably comprise a list of 5 challenges.
Mm-hmm.
So if one of these 5 things happens in the show, Eric has to get up and shock for 5 to 10 seconds.
Oh, what is
each
it?
time.
What are the stipulations on those?
Gary says something stupid.
Okay. Gary on the show. Gary on the show, not Gary here.
Or maybe if Gary wants to say something in the chat, then he can if he wants as well. But yeah, Gary says something. Gary Green, whatever his name is, says it. Mm-hmm. Is Mick in the finale?
I don't know. I'm guessing he is.
If Mick drinks beer, chalk. If Sarah and whatever her name is, Ava kiss. You have to choke. And I don't know, we'll come up with 2 other ones later on. Something along those lines. But I think he might be chocking the entire stream
It could
after
be.
that.
Could be. Captain Cold's coming back. I saw that.
Yeah.
So
I'm assuming time travel.
Isn't it weird that he had the closest relationship with Mick, but he's coming back to the show after Mick is gone?
I think Mick's in the 100th episode, isn't he?
Is he?
Well, he says he's not completely gone. He just left as a regular.
Well, I'll say that for me, Mick has never been my favorite character, so I could take him or leave him on the show, to be honest. I know you've loved Mick, right? Wasn't he one of your favorites? I'm not trolling you either. I'm genuinely curious. Didn't you like him as a character?
No, Mona was my favorite.
Was she? Okay, now you're trolling. Gary says, "Are you mad at me or are you proud of me?" Always proud of you, Gary. Always proud.
I'm a bit mad.
Super chat. Oh,
I'm a bit mad.
There you go. Did Stargirl foreshadow Cameron being a villain? Well, we don't really know if he's a villain, right? I'm assuming we're going to talk about Stargirl in a moment, but I think we're still not sure. Like, I don't even think after this episode it's technically anything concrete about it. So, because this was more of a Mike episode. Why are you disagreeing? Do you think that he's definitely going to be a villain, or
no? I was going, as in speculation.
Right. Adam here with the 49 super chat. Do you think we could see Vandal Savage, not the one from Legends, in a future season of Stargirl once, since he's one of the biggest JSA villains? You know, a couple years ago, I'd be like, no, absolutely not. But they have pretty much committed to like redoing villains somehow, some way. And there's always a possibility. And since it is on a different Earth, maybe. But the question is, does anybody want to see another Vandal Savage? Because I do believe that everybody started liking him after season 1. Like when they brought him back for other stuff, he was better. I don't know. You know what? I need to go back and watch season 1 of Legends again because I know that I had an issue with him, but I don't know if it was necessarily him or just the season as a whole. I don't remember.
Legends season 1, it's like Legends season 1 is that it has a rough start and then it finds its feet like halfway through and it finishes off pretty strong. Leading into season 2.
Yeah. I think season 2 was peak Legends for me, though.
I would say season 4.
Would you really? Of course you would. Of course you would. All right. So we have a couple topics. We're going to talk about Stargirl, obviously, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about Supergirl because Paige doesn't give a shit about that show. So
I do have a Paige's pick, by the way.
Okay, we'll do a Paige's pick. We're going to talk about Supergirl. I'm going to talk about her interview with Jimmy Kimmel because it pretty much confirms that she's probably never coming back. And I actually have a Supergirl review. It's already filmed, like completely done this week. And I was going to upload it today, but I was like, it's getting too it's really difficult because doing the live stream and having to upload 2 reviews within that space of time, it's not easy because you don't want it to overlap another video that you're already pushing. So anyway, it's already done. It'll be out. It's going to have more stuff than what we talk about here because, again, Paige doesn't give a shit about Supergirl. So there we go. But Paige, do you want to break the bad news to everyone from last week because we talked about it from the game? Here we go.
Yeah, no, there will be no after party Amazon vouchers, unfortunately. Technically, you can blame Eric and Ben because they gave the numbers. I can say that the number 6 and the number 2 for my team scored, and the other team it was the number 2 as well, and the number 4. So yeah, but so no vouchers, and my team lost as well. So not gonna lie, cried for about 20 minutes. I was pissed because they should have won as well. They should have won. But anyway,
was it at least a good game, or was it a bad?
It was a good game. Badly, or it was a good game. They only lost by 2 points. But oh well, can't win them all, can you?
Adam here with the 499 super chat. If you had to choose, would you rather have Jax or Rip return for the 100th episode of Legends? Rip gets a bad rap, right? I know a lot of people have not liked his character over the years, But I think
I
Rip
liked
has
him
been,
when he.
yeah,
I
go
liked
ahead.
him when he stopped being the proper leader. So you remember, like when he was with Wally and stuff.
Mhm.
I sort of like that version of Rip.
Like the one that was like kind of off on his own, doing his own thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't mind having him back. The only thing about Jax coming back is since there's no Stein, it kind of feels like, how do you bring him back and not bring all of that back as well? That's the only real problem. But I like Jax. And I wouldn't mind him coming back. I just don't see how they would do it unless they just make it so he merged with someone else for Firestorm. But yeah, I don't know. Thank you for the super chat. All right, so let's go ahead. Where is Ben? I saw somebody ask. I don't know where Ben is. Tweet him, like go at him on Twitter and be like, come to the after party. Like message him and tell him to come over here. I'll send him a link if he wants to join us. I don't know what he's doing.
Eric needs someone to bounce off for this Supergirl rant.
Well, as much as I enjoy having Ben, he'll probably just sit here and not say anything while I'm ranting, because I don't know if he'll agree with me or not. But anyway, so let's talk about Stargirl. It was episode.
No, I've got my Paige's pick, you idiot.
You want to do that first? You want to do Paige's pick first?
Well, it gets a bit dark, so yeah, probably.
Oh
do this
no! What is Paige's pick this week?
It starts off good and then it gets a bit dark, but it mainly depends on your answer in regards to the end that may make it dark or not.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna do Paige's pick first. So sit back, grab some crisp and a soda, and let's do this Paige's pick. Come on, what is it? What are we doing? What are you getting me demonetized for this week? So
actually, well, firstly, I'm sort of annoyed you don't have an apostrophe in Paige's pick.
Yeah,
it triggers me.
I don't know.
Trigger warning, no apostrophe. Anyways, to start off, my Paige's pick for this week is 6 funny movies I watched over the past week or so.
Okay. I'm sure some of these are going to be crossing the line, but go ahead.
Well, maybe the first one.
All right.
So these are all movies I watched, pretty much over the past week or so, that I was laughing at. I was lolling. I was LOLing. I was laughing out loud.
Which is the even more powerful version of laugh out loud. So
yeah. Someone may have just hinted at the back half of Paige's pick in the chat, but I won't highlight what it was. So the first movie I watched was The Interview, which almost caused World War III. If anyone remembers,
yes, I remember that movie.
Yeah. What, 2014, 2013, or whatever it was.
Yeah, I remember getting that, like buying it on I think Apple or something to watch
it didn't come out in cinemas. They didn't release it.
What a weird time that was. That was so strange.
The Sony hack and everything. Like the people that were probably too young in the chat to remember that, eh? Yeah. That was like what, 7-8 years ago?
Yeah.
So people like, yeah, God, that was that was interesting. So when was the last time you watched The Interview, when it came out?
Probably a couple years ago. I think after, like, I watched it obviously when it first came out, and then I remember watching it with a friend of mine who hadn't seen it. But that was it. I think I've watched it twice in 8 years. So
do you remember any of the lines from it? Any of the jokes?
Not really. I remember some of the physical humor, but
there's one I won't say because I'm pretty sure it's racist, so I won't say it.
Well, there we go.
Just because it's an impersonation. But the second one was when they are organizing the thing with the interview with Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un. And they come in, breaking news. Matthew McConaughey has been caught having sex with a goat. McConaughey goat fuck. Maybe it's funnier in the movie, but I was laughing my head off when it happened. Anyway, so yeah, The Interview, very funny. Katy Perry, you know what I'm talking about. Right. Next up, 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yes, I love that movie though.
Yeah, I've watched it so many times.
I've watched that movie. I know every scene and almost every line in that film. It's one of those movies where it's Kelly Clarkson. Like it's a movie where there's just so many things to remember from it. It's funny because you see these movies, like especially that one with the concept of it, and you're like, where did this come from? Were they just sitting around and they're like, oh, we should do a movie about this completely weird thing or whatever? Anyway, yes, love that movie. So
And it's also weird seeing Paul Rudd in a movie where he just swears so much.
yes,
It's like early Paul Rudd is like, and when he was in like all that Judd Apatow stuff,
yeah,
it's even like Knocked Up and stuff. It's
yeah. It's weird that now he's like a household, like
with like
a family
Ant-Man, like
name.
and
Yeah,
like these Ghostbusters and stuff. I guess you
yeah.
get when you get older, you get into those different roles. But yeah. Next one, I watched Mean Girls for the first time in a while.
I don't think I've seen that since it came out.
I haven't seen it in a while, but it was on. It was like I opened up Netflix and it was like they must have just added it to the Australian Netflix or something because it was trending. So I thought, oh, I'll watch Mean Girls, and yeah, pretty. No, I don't know if there's any necessarily overly funny lines, but yeah.
I forgot we need to talk about this as well from Staggervore. We'll talk about it a little bit later on, the reverse flash pictures and stuff, because we I don't want to spoil too much of it. I guess you've already spoiled it here, but we'll talk about it later on in detail. So thank you.
I'm not a main girl. Eric is a main girl. Eric is a gossiper.
Mean Girl is one of those movies like because Fresh Sounds Florida. I've never watched Mean Girls before. It's a very misleading, like you think you know what it is based on just what you've heard, but it's not really that. Like you have to watch the movie. And I know that's tough to like get into because it doesn't seem appealing if you're just not into that type of comedy, but it's actually really funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know many people that wouldn't find it funny.
Well, no, I mean just people
Like
that look at it and think of it like one of those like it's not a I don't know. It's to me, it doesn't jump out as a movie that everybody would gravitate towards. But I think most people would probably find it funny. So.
Yeah, okay. Next up, I got Old School.
I love Old School too.
I forgot Luke Wilson was in that because I hadn't watched it in a while. I can't remember Will Ferrell.
It's like it's not a movie that I've watched a lot, but I remember really enjoying it.
It's got Renee Ramirez as well. Wild Dog.
I forgot
about
the
college kids. Next up, I watched The Mask.
The original one with Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Jim Carrey.
If you want to torture yourself, watch the second one.
I think I saw the second one when it came out in cinemas because I really
it's awful.
Like my mom watched me. My mom let me watch The Mask with her when I was like 5 or 6, and so I've always remembered The Mask. It's like somebody stop me. PRTY.
You know, it's really interesting. Jim Carrey had a time where he was like the hottest thing in Hollywood.
Well, he had that and Ace Ventura in the same year, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So that's the way to slap it across the face and go, I'm here. And then finally, I watched this last night.
Is this the one where it's like this may take a dark turn?
No, the dark turn happens after this. This movie is not the dark turn. So this is the final of my 6 funny movies I watched over the past week or so. It was from last night. That was Pineapple Express.
You know, I haven't seen that in a long time.
I love that movie. It's so fun. I'll tell you what. I know James Franco's being cancelled, but he's hilarious. Like in the interview, he's hilarious. Pineapple Express, he's hilarious. I wish he never got cancelled because I thought he was.
Well, he's canceled now, so
yeah. I wish he was such a funny actor.
Yeah,
and he plays that character so well in Pineapple Express.
so here's the thing about Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey's comedy is you either like it or you don't. There's no it's a lot like Adam Sandler. Like either you like that person's acting and
because it's more like his energy and stuff.
Yeah, it's a vibe. Carrey. It's a vibe that he brings to his movies.
Yeah.
So okay, so what's the dark turn here?
So I got 2 things. Firstly, the Zodiac Killer was apparently revealed. This is big news in my alternate Twitter thread. Because there's like a lot of true crime serial killer stuff, and he was revealed. So the Zodiac Killer was a mystery. They never really too sure who it was. There was different like theories and leads and some evidence and stuff like that. But apparently it's come down to Gary Francis Post, who's died 3 years ago. But they connected it to if you don't know, the Zodiac Killer, all of his murders happened around San Francisco and that area in California. However, there was a murder in 1966.
But they actually thought there was a copycat later on, right? Like
there were copycat attempts, that they really couldn't. Everyone just knew, but I think they stopped. I think, and I don't think there was actually any cases of them killing people. I don't think. I think there might be one or something like that. But this Gary Francis Post did a killing in a very similar way, and there was like sort of evidence, but it was done in Riverside, California, which is more south. Is it south? Yeah, it's south. It's more like towards LA, I think. Yeah, so that was done before the Zodiac killing. So that was led to believed to have been his first murder.
Interesting.
So, and
I'm wondering if there's going to be documentaries now that this information has come out.
Well, there have to be an update because apparently he was always a mystery. Like it was like an unsolved mystery, an unsolved case. But now they have Gary Francis Post.
Oh, all right, cool.
So yeah, if you're worried about the Zodiac killer coming to get you, apparently he died 3 years ago. Okay. So yeah, and then finally, in my final pages pick for the week, and it's actually a would you rather towards Eric and maybe the chat as well.
Here we go.
Serial killer edition, or at least mass crime, true crime edition.
Okay.
Would you rather be stuck in a room for 30 minutes with Charlie Manson, Ted Bundy, or John Wayne Gacy? Please answer. I know the answer. I think there's a clear answer.
I would say Manson for me.
Ding, ding, ding. That's the correct answer.
Yeah.
Because you know why? You know how you just talk about music. Yeah. You love music. You just talk about music. Start singing songs with him, and he'd sing along. There you go. So if you ever get caught in a room with Charles Manson revived from the dead,
talk about music.
Because he died like 5 years ago. Right. Just pull out your.
And there's our Pages pick, demonetized from just at the very beginning. We got it out of the way early. All right, so Naruto with the $5 super chat. Victor Garber's in Vancouver filming a Canadian TV show, so there's a chance they could have asked Jack to be on the 100th episode. I mean, they could technically do that, but
the thing is, now without the quarantine, it's so easy.
Yeah, they could. It's a possibility, but the thing is, if he's already there filming something, it might be difficult for him to leave that and go somewhere else. So
I think it's fine now. I think they because like Javicia, for example, when did Flash?
No. I mean, it's not about the quarantine. I mean, just about time. Like maybe he doesn't have enough time. We'd have to see if he was able to do that or whatever. So we'll see though. I mean, I would love to see that. I'd love to see him come back. I think the two of them were great together. Jaden, we're going to be talking about Supergirl in just a bit. Thank you for your comment. So, all right. So let's talk about Stargirl, episode 9 of season 2. We talked about this on Twitter briefly. This is what I would like to call the JSA / Jay Garrick episode, but that's not really what it was. I mean, they were in it, but it was mostly about just the family in the house dealing with trauma from Eclipso, which is kind of what spurred the backstory that we got in the episode. Which remind me a lot of Arrow, by the way. Did you notice they used the filter that kind of looked like the Arrow flashback filter with like the colors and everything? It looked a little sepia to me, or sepia.
I think it's pronounced sepia.
Oh, is it
like
okay?
Papaya.
All right. Yeah. What did you think of the flashbacks in the episode? I thought they were well done.
I thought that, yeah, because sometimes with flashbacks, if you're usually a show that doesn't do them throughout an episode, I think this might be the first time Stargirl's done them throughout an episode rather than just like starting off an episode with it and then playing off in the present day. So it played like Arrow pretty much.
Right.
And sometimes when a show does it for the first time, it can seem a bit rocky, but I thought it worked really well. Just because of what the premise of like the present day stuff going on as well. There wasn't really like, oh, they were on a mission or something and then flashing back. They were just, it was sort of like just a straightforward thing in the present day, which allowed those flashbacks to play out.
I thought the flashbacks also were setting up for like what we're going to get when Starman comes back and his interactions with Pat, because we're getting a lot of backstory on that. And I know see a space fluff. We're getting a lot of backstory on how Pat was treated, because that was another very important aspect of that backstory, was seeing how he was very sort of just not included in anything because he was a quote unquote sidekick. And it feels really awful. Like, I mean, it's really painting that old JSA in a really bad light. in terms of the way they perceived him, with the exception of well, from this episode we knew Jay Garrick didn't feel that way about Pat, but he wasn't a full-time member of the JSA, right? He would help them once in a while, right? Is that the
Well,
the
he was a
impression you got?
sidekick, so he wasn't a member of the JSA. So it's like
No,
he
I'm
wasn't
talking
even a
about
member
Jay
at all.
Garrick, not Pat.
Oh, Jay, no, he was there. No, he was a full member.
No,
He
but
was a founding member.
but he came back, like he left and came back, is what I'm saying. He wasn't with them currently, right? Or was he? I
What do
got
you
the
mean
impression that he
currently?
wasn't there, like with them on their day-to-day stuff. Like that's the impression I got. Maybe I was wrong, but
No, I think he was. I don't think they said
because
anything like that.
no, I mean I just got that vibe. It was never stated. I just got the impression that he was kind of like there, but he wasn't there all the time with them.
I think he was a member that just probably had differing opinions on how to. So maybe he wasn't in the. What do you want to call it? The
inner circle,
the inner circle of an already inner circle, you know.
Yeah. So, but being the Flash, it wasn't like he had to be there all the time anyway, because he could get there whenever they needed him, really. So it doesn't really matter. But I got the impression that he thought of things very differently from the core group, because it seems like Hourman and Wildcat, all that we've seen of them so far, especially in this episode, they're kind of always on the same page. And Starman in Pat's mind was a more level-headed individual. Like he didn't always make the same decisions as the other characters. So having Jay there, I think, was intended to give Pat that moment to shine a little bit, because otherwise I don't think they would have let him talk. You know what I mean? Like I think he would have been just speaking to no one, honestly.
Yeah.
Because it did seem like, that Starman just didn't care. And we get that through I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of shocked at how dark that time was for the JSA. I'm guessing that is supposed to help us understand why they feel the way they feel about Eclipso, because of how dark things got during this period. And that would be leading up into that battle that we saw, with Solomon Grundy and the rest of the characters there. So I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was a nice little portal into these characters and who they were. Do you think we'll see these versions again this season? Do you think we're getting more flashbacks, or was this the only time we're going to get anything like this?
Oh, we might get a flashback with Starman or something. But even then, I'd be surprised if we got any more flashbacks this season.
Yeah,
but then again, we might. I don't know.
Well, and I talked about this in my review. Joel McHale has been upped for next season, so Starman is coming back.
Well, they started today.
3. Yeah.
But I mean,
do you think we're going to get a major cliffhanger with Starman, and then season 3 will be the cliffhanger continued, or do you think he'll just be back and then?
Well, we know he's appearing in episodes to come, so it's not like he's going to appear in the final scene like he did last season. So we know he's in some episode or episodes coming forward. So maybe the cliffhanger is more. I do like the theory that people have that like the cosmic staff stops working for Corny when he comes back and it goes to him. So all of a sudden there's once again like a fight for control.
Yeah.
That'd be fairly interesting. But I'm more interested just to see the dynamic when he comes back and what it's like with Pat, because obviously there was a relationship there, but it felt like it got tarnished by power when Starman was in the JSA.
Yeah,
because Pat knew him from when he was a teenager.
Yeah, because you saw the costume in the glass behind
and
him,
the photos,
so,
and the photos and stuff. Yeah.
Anthony says, "Can Jay come back to Stargirl's Earth?" We still don't understand how he was. Now, we talked about this last night. I didn't see. There wasn't a direct explanation for the connection. But you said that there were some hints that you saw, and I did pick up on a few of them as well. But I don't think we know exactly what happens, right? We're not totally sure.
Well, my thought is that they left it open when they say that the JSA disbanded.
Yeah.
For all those years. And then they came back and had that fight. So I think in that period of time before that fight happened, Jay's traveled the multiverse. Because you got to remember, this is post-crisis. They made it clear this Earth 2 is post-crisis Earth 2. So all these events aren't affected by crisis, obviously, once they start playing out. So I like to think that between that period, he's traveled the multiverse.
Mm,
And whether he's set up camp or whatever, or just knows of certain things and built relationships, that's how he's able to then just be on Earth Prime afterwards.
right.
But I don't think they would have brought him in if they didn't have any overall plan, or at least some sort of ideas how they would just form that connection when it's relevant. Because it's very important to remember there was no reason for them to mention that in those
Right.
flashbacks. It would have been so forced, and I would have actually honestly hated it.
No,
If
I
they
agree
went
with you. I
if
think
I
that
went,
the way
"Oh, by the
the
way,
episode structured
I'm
was
gonna
right.
go travel to this Earth and randomly do this." Like, I would have hated
Yeah.
it.
No, it would have been.
And
It would
it's
have been
very
awkward.
important to remember is the only thing I love the J stuff. The only thing I was sort of like, "Oh, would have been cool," is if we saw what the visual effects would look like if he ran. But in each area he appeared, it wouldn't have made sense for him to run.
Right.
We're in the bunker. He used the elevator to get down. What's it going to speed 3 meters to run into the
Yeah.
elevator? No, you just freaking walk. And then he was in public at the funeral, so he's not going to run.
And I do have some opinions about the J stuff. We'll talk about that at the end because I don't want to talk about it while we're going through everything. But what you're saying makes sense to me. Like in the structure of the episode, there was nowhere for any of that to happen.
Yeah, and then and then there was just certain things like I understand why people were like, "Oh, I wanted to hear what the Shade and Sylvester or Starman were talking about," but it's like you got to remember the flashbacks were from Pat's perspective. He doesn't have any idea what they said because
so the only thing he knows is what
them.
he was told by them.
Yeah,
like
so
he wasn't there when those were happening.
Yeah, so you're literally seeing it through his eye. That's the whole point.
I would say that the flashbacks were supposed to help us understand how frustrated Pat has been with this situation because he was kept out of the loop. And then we get a parallel to that with Courtney in this episode when she finds out that Pat has kept her out of the loop. So, and I think his decision to tell Courtney had to do with him remembering how he was treated in the JSA. I think those two stories were supposed to run parallel to each other.
But then you also get hints of like how Mike felt and how Pat knows what Mike was going through early in the season, because he was just sort of like, "No, stay back. This is you're not part of the JSA," which is exactly what happened with Mike.
Yeah, I agree. So that's why I thought it was really interesting, and it was well done in that aspect. I think the story was structured very well with that. And Laura here says, "Do you think JSA doesn't defeat Eclipso by the?" No, I think Eclipso will be defeated by the end of the season. Well, not defeated, but locked away.
I think that's a big thing at the end of the season because they're probably going to have to kill him.
Yeah. Well, they're leading up to making us feel like that's the decision that's going to have to be made.
Yeah.
So here's the funny thing. Naruto says, "I can't believe they fake killed Buddy." That was the moment when I knew that it wasn't real. Like when I was watching the episode and we had the stuff going on with Barbara and we had the stuff going on with Mike, I was thinking at that point, like something could be happening. This could be real. At least the stuff with Mike is. And this is the beauty of how they're doing the season of Stargirl. Like I actually believed it, but then when he killed Buddy, I was like, okay, this is fake. It's like there's no way they're going to do that, and I was right.
Isn't the dog's name Max? I called it Max in my video. I'm pretty sure the dog's name is Max. It was Max in season 1. I remember it was Max.
Did they change it to Buddy?
Wasn't it Max?
What?
Hold on.
Wait a minute. Is the dog Max or Buddy? Chat, you have to answer us.
Dog?
Is the dog's name Max or Buddy? I'm
Stargirl dog.
Now.
Yeah, Max. Max is a minor character in Stargirl. He's an English bulldog.
But look, everybody says Buddy here.
Well,
did they change the name of the dog?
It's a nickname. So they call him Buddy, but his name is Max.
It was Buddy in this episode, but I also remember it being Max. That's weird.
Yeah. Pat calls him, because Pat called him Max in season 1. Well, yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I don't call my dog by his name all the time. I'll go like, "Hey, mate," or like,
yeah, but it's just weird because those two names don't seem like they would be.
Yeah,
like it doesn't seem like a nickname. It seems like just a different name. They call him Buddy, but his name is Max.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, Buddy, because I heard them saying that in the episode, but I was like, yeah, but they're just calling him Buddy, just like hello.
Yeah. Somebody said something about a super chat. I don't think I missed any of them. No, I don't think I have. I've scrolled back up. I think I gotten all of them. But anyway, I knew that was going to happen, and several people said they really enjoyed Mike this season. I think Mike this season is a much better character than he was in season 1. But I think that has to do with the fact that they're also including him in the story with like the main characters. He isn't just there to be an annoying brother.
Yeah.
So I think it's them using Buddy like
No,
Kyle
you
for their
missed a
friends.
super chat, but it was a membership comment. You can now, if you're a member for a certain amount of time, you get to send a free super chat.
How does
You
is
have
that
to go
not
on the
show up? It doesn't
gotta go
show
on
up
the
at
YouTube.
all.
Got to go
on
on
here?
you got to go on the YouTube chat.
I'm going right now. That's why does it not show up?
Like I can send, if I go onto the YouTube thing, I can send one.
But it's not even showing up in my super chat box. Like, this is no joke. It's not a showing. Like, when you go into the super chat box on YouTube, it's not even showing up there.
Yeah, you got to go to the YouTube actual chat box.
That's garbage. I want to see everybody's super chats. Like, that's the whole point.
But it's not a super chat; it's a member comment,
But
and every member gets
still,
a comment.
It should be in the. It should be there somewhere, right? Hold on.
Yeah,
Well,
it's new. It's literally been for like a week. I haven't.
Okay,
seen it
so
before.
that actually makes things very difficult because I typically have just StreamYard open.
Well, Eric's going to be using OBS very soon. So.
Yeah, I am switching to that. All right. Let's see. All right. So which one did I miss?
It was Arrowverse
Okay,
scenes.
it's Arrowverse scenes. Okay. And I hate it because I can't bring it up on the screen either. Anyway, it says John Wesley Shipp sort of teased that he may return. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he returned. Okay, Paigey says that I smell like a bad bottle of doo-doo. So there we go. Laura says that's cool. And Introvert Unicorn said it's a membership milestone comment. Okay.
So it's when you hit a certain it's probably every month, I guess.
I think it's great, but I wish it was easy for me to see it. Anyway, yes, Jordan, never knew this was here. I didn't either because they do not give creators proper communication usually. So there we go. There we go. StreamYard will probably add it soon. I would be surprised if StreamYard does because StreamYard can't even add a separate tab for just super chats.
Just the super chats, yeah. StreamYard is freaking hopeless.
So I'm switching back to OBS soon because StreamYard, I paid for a year in advance. So anyway, when I switch over to OBS, things will be different. I might still use this if I have time left on it, but we'll see. Cal with the 4.9 super chat. Do you think Cameron will be a villain as Icicle Jr.? I think they're teasing that, but I don't know for sure. Because in this episode, it wasn't so much about Cameron as it was about Mike dealing with the trauma, which I'm actually glad that we did that because I feel like it hasn't been covered very well. What do you think? Do you think we're going to see him like literally as Icicle Jr., or do you think he's just going to be Cameron and he has ice powers?
Like, I know. Wait and see. Like, I think there's still a lot of stuff that's going to happen this season. Important to remember, Jakeem Thunder's meant to be in this season towards the end, like actually doing stuff. So there's still a lot going on. We still got 4 episodes left. So
yeah,
who knows what'll happen.
Anthony did a Team Eric milestone comment. I guess that's what they're called now. So when is a Stargirl and Flash crossover? Technically, this was a Stargirl and Flash crossover, even though it didn't feel like it. I mean, technically it was. It just wasn't the Grant Gustin version of the Flash. So we get to the end of the episode. I'm going to talk about the Jay Garrick stuff here in a moment, but we get to the end of the episode, and the big thing at the end is that now that Eclipso is his storm is throughout the entire city, I'm assuming that a lot of people are dealing with the visions and the nightmares, right? I mean, it's not just their family. I feel like it's a lot of people that are probably dealing with it because Eclipso feeds off of that fear.
Yeah. Was Spectre killed by Eclipso?
In the comics, maybe? It didn't happen on the show.
Yeah, they just said they fought him and couldn't defeat him, didn't they? I was gonna say it's pretty hard to kill Spectre.
Yeah, well, it would just go from one
They
person
didn't
to
say
another.
that, did they? Or am I confused? I'm pretty sure they didn't say that.
Spectre can leave someone's, like, you might be able to kill the person that the Spectre is the body it's in, but you can't kill the Spectre as far as I know.
Yeah, because they said Green Lantern as well, but like this, you got to remember this was like decades ago. Like Jenny wouldn't have been born,
Right.
so unless like there was some like semen in a jar, I'm not too sure if Green Lantern would have died there as well. Because we've got Green Lantern, Spectre, the Hawks, and Dr. Fate.
Yeah. Radical Z with the $2 super chat. I'm curious about Flash season 8 and Armageddon. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the set photos here in a moment. We'll get into that because it does tie into Armageddon, obviously. But I believe they're just about done filming the crossover, right? Aren't they? Is the last week, or maybe it's already been wrapped up?
Well, Jay Garrick, John Wesley Shipp. Well, yeah, I guess Jay Garrick said he wasn't in Armageddon, and he said like a few weeks ago that he was going to be filming there in a month. So he'd probably be going up there in like the next week or two.
I was looking over here, make sure I'm not missing any of these milestone comments now, and I have to go back and forth between my monitors.
Wait, hold on. Maybe you need like a self-rotating chair that just moves you from side to side, like a broken clock or something.
Like that. Actually, I'm looking at the calendar. Fandom is 9 days away. 9 days, 18 hours, and 39 minutes.
Yeah. Are you going to be joining the Restore the Snyderverse trending event on the,
I will not be doing
DC
that.
Fandom Day? Yeah.
No.
It would have been a good sign. That's a really good sign that you're not, Eric. I would have actually had to book you into a pretty strongly secured mental asylum, I think, if you were going to partake in that.
It's going to be interesting because I think they believe that their hashtag is going to outtrend some announcement that comes
probably
from
it's like, well, but the thing is that they're forcing the trend. They're not casually talking about, oh, I saw the Batman trailer at hashtag DC Fandom. It's an OM account. I'm going to spam it 100 times in a day and force trend something. That's not trending. That's forcing a trend.
Yeah. Well,
anyway.
Yeah. All right. So the big thing about Stargirl, and I thought about this when I was doing my review. I talked about it briefly at the beginning of the review. Is this is not saying that they should have put it into the episode that we have, because the episode we had was really well done, and I don't think there was anywhere in that episode to really do what I was expecting. I was hoping that the episode was going to be all backstory. Like I thought it was going to be just an entire JSA episode with a little bit of stuff in the future, whereas it was more like normal stuff in modern time with flashbacks to the JSA. So in that context, it makes sense that they didn't utilize Jay Garrick and the rest of those characters in bigger ways. I was sort of disappointed because I wanted to see more from those characters if it were a JSA episode, but it wasn't really a JSA episode. So my disappointment was more about what I had thought it was going to be, but I can't knock it for that. It was still a very good episode. Very well done.
Eric, I made the meme to Eric that he had the DC TV show illness. He was expecting something that was never advertised.
Well, I wasn't honestly, I wasn't really expecting anything. And actually, after I saw the preview from last week, I kind of knew that it wasn't going to be what I thought.
I was surprised in the preview they showed no Jay Garrick,
right?
But then just showed him in the promo images.
Yeah,
but I did see someone saying, "Imagine if they didn't promote this at all, because he wasn't seen on set filming. The only reason we knew he was filming is because he said it. So imagine you're just watching this episode and John Wesley Shipp approaches and says, and it's Jay.
Yeah,
like you blind watching.
Yeah, someone. It was really interesting. Someone on my video said that us talking about that stuff is somehow spoiling it for people, but we get our information from public stuff. Like I don't spoil anything. This should be like isn't publicly spoiled.
This should be like a PSA. Anything that's publicly put out by Warner
Trailers,
Brothers, CW,
anything like that,
whatever it is. If we talk about it, it's not a spoiler. It's a spoiler if it's like a set photo that's not officially put out by Warner Brothers, and fair enough, spoiler. But anything that literally comes from the people that make the show, that's like saying the episode's a spoiler.
They actually released clips of Jay Garrick talking like 2 days before the episode came out. Yeah. Like there was the scene of him talking with other characters on the show that was released almost 48 hours before the episode came out. So, and even John Wesley Shipp on Twitter's talked about this for months. So I find it a little odd that people come in and say that I have spoiled something for them that was public knowledge like 6 months ago.
You know why,
Now,
Eric?
Why is that?
It's because of the manga connections. I'm
Oh,
going to
well,
assume that's why.
Yeah.
Doesn't help you got the red microphone cover again this week.
But look, I'm not going to disagree with them and say that it shouldn't have been spoiled, because I do think it would have been more impactful if we didn't know. But the reality is they released this information.
Yeah.
It's their fault. They're the ones that did it. You don't come to a channel that talks about future content on these shows and get mad when we talk about future content for these shows. I just think that's a little weird. But
what would you rather, release the Jay Garrick photos or release the Snyder Cut?
Jay Garrick photos, obviously. Naruto, $5 super chat. A live action Batman Wayne Family Adventures miniseries was announced. Is it a cartoon though? It says live action, but it feels like a cartoon title. Wayne Family Adventures. Is it like?
Sounds like, is it like National Lampoons, but Bruce Wayne?
That sounds awful. And we already have a live action Batman series and Batwoman series and Gotham series. And I'm saying live action Batman because I'm talking about
no.
Titans.
It's from that YouTuber.
Is it a fan thing?
The guy that did the Nightwing series.
That'll be fine then, but that title's bad.
Yeah, I don't think it's an official DC thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very. Remember when they did that Mortal Kombat web series?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very similar to that.
They're well done. But I don't pay attention to stuff like that or whatever, honestly. You know, I already give the shows enough shit for like feeling like fan projects where I'm just like, I just don't have any interest in doing it. Look, so this is probably a very unpopular opinion, but I think DC feels like anything live action that's connected to Batman, even if it's loosely connected, is going to make them buckets of money. That's what I think. That's why they just keep doing it. That's why Titans has so much Batman stuff in it right now. So there you go. Yes, Cal, I can't wait for the 5-part crossover as well. It's part of the Webtoons deal, so it's a multi-faceted deal.
I don't know. It looks like a web series. It looks like, well, at least from the photos I'm saying, it looks like, yeah, it looks like a web series.
Yeah. There's a lot of Batman with no Batman, like literally everything that exists right now.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, I love the episode. I'm curious what you guys scored it. I think I gave it like an A- because I thought it was really strong. But what would you guys give it from 1 to 10? I'm very, very curious what the chat thinks of this week's Stargirl. Do you want to talk briefly now about the photos from the Flash set before? Because once I get into Supergirl, I'm just going to run through it.
Yeah, so, well, hold on. I was going to take my melatonin while you just in preparation for the
All right, so this is huge spoilers for the Flash. I'm pretty sure that everyone in the chat right now has already seen these pictures, but I'm going to just tell you because I'm not going to pull the pictures up. I'm not even going to pull the pictures up. We're just going to talk about it, right?
Oh, that's edgy.
We're just going to talk about it.
That is edgy.
It's very edgy. Well, we got behind the scene photos of 2 costumes that we hadn't seen yet from the Armageddon crossover. Final warning. We're going to talk about it now. We got a picture of Ryan Choi in his Atom suit, which is a pretty much comic accurate version of the suit. And we also saw Grant Gustin in a reverse Flash suit that's made to look like a combination of the old reverse Flash suit with the current Flash suit. And he also had on some sort of a tachyon device as well on set. And a lot of people want us to talk about this. I did a video about it. You've done at least one. Did you do a second video?
I've done 1. Ben's done 7.
Okay. So we've done one video about it. This actually has me really excited because I'll be honest, some of the news that came out for this season of The Flash kind of had me bummed out a little bit. I think the Iris West news about her story being like a main story all the way through the season kind of annoyed me a little bit because I just know it's not going to be good because they just don't know how to write anything for that character. But this has me excited for the crossover because this means we might be getting some changes to the character of the Reverse Flash. And as a lot of people know, he's like my favorite Flash villain. He's probably one of my favorite comic book villains of all time. Do you think this is going to be a case of like a multiversal version of Reverse Flash, or do you think it's simply the one we know, but one where he looks like Barry Allen?
It could be any of them, Eric.
You don't have any theories
of the force?
Well, because they saw him talking to Damian and they looked like they were on good terms with each other in those pictures. So
maybe it's mind control.
I'm really excited for it. What did you think of the suit? Because I think the suit looks amazing.
It looks good, but it does really highlight why. I mean, he looks like a giant banana with the wax ends. Let's be completely honest. You know how they put the
I
red
love
wax?
the boots, though. The red boots with the yellow suit.
Yeah, it's
really
extremely comic accurate, and that's the thing. I love that it's comic accurate to a T, pretty much for Reverse Flash, just like how Ryan Choi's looks extremely comic accurate. But when you do comic accurate, it's very cheesy. But you know what? As I said in my video for it, I love the cheese.
Yeah,
make it extra cheesy.
The Ryan Choi suit. So you know what I love about whoever in the studio department, the costuming department, came up with this new way of making their suits has pretty much revolutionized like TV superhero costumes because they look so good now. And I think you said, isn't it the same company that's doing all these suits? Isn't it like the same people that do the Titan suits? And
no, that it's a different one. This one's based in Vancouver, I'm pretty sure.
They're really good.
The one that do the Titan suits is based in Atlanta.
I'm saying these are really good though. So whoever did it, it's very much like your classic spandex superhero suit without being leather or spandex. So it looks better on screen. I think it's really good. And I'm really excited to see how they're going to look together. I love the Reverse Flash suit. I know you said it looks like a big banana, but I love it. Bring on the big banana.
No, don't get me wrong. It looks like a big banana, but I still love it. But the thing is that it's actually pretty funny because they were going to do the full yellow suit for season 1 Reverse Flash.
And they decided to do the ombre with black and yellow.
They made the suit. There is a suit there in the archive somewhere, probably still lying in Vancouver. That's the same like leather suit that Tom Cavanaugh wore in season 1. Mm-hmm. But instead of the black pants and like the black boots or whatever, it's fully yellow. And I'm assuming potentially has red boots as well. But red boots wouldn't have worked with the suit that he has. Right. Like with the black that goes up, it had to be sort of like the black boots.
Yeah.
But there is a full yellow suit from season 1 lying there somewhere, and there would be photos of him. So if anyone's a hacker.
You know, I was thinking when I was looking back and I was trying to find a picture here that reminds me of it, but the way the suit colors blend, the yellow into the black, it reminds me a lot of the Daniel West suit, even though it was red and black. But the way the colors blend together sort of reminded me of that. But I can't find the picture that I was thinking of there. Radical Z with $2 super chat. Did Thawne get plastic surgery? It's possible. It's a strong possibility. We've seen Thawne look like other people before as well. He's taken over the bodies of other people. So maybe it's something along those lines. Staggervorth, the 49 super chat. Is it possible that Thawne stole the body of Barry? Just like another, that's exactly what I just said. I think that's a good distinct possibility. We don't really know what the plan is going to be for this crossover or what's actually happening. And until we actually get some some footage from it, which I believe in 9 days, we're going to see something most likely. Do you think we'll get like anything in 9 days?
I'm interested to see. Okay, here's the hypothetical situation. The panel starts. Flash season 8 panel. Eric Wallace appears. He drops from the ceiling. It's like he's like an angel coming down. He's waving his arms as if they're wings or something. He's slowly repelled down by a support line or something like that. And then it's like almost like gospel. He's like, my children. Eric's reloaded. Are you out there?
Yeah, that wouldn't happen.
Hear me roar. Here's the trailer for the season 8 Armageddon, and it's Kristen Kramer Chilblain focused, and then at the end the Reverse Flash tease. And by the way, on a side note, when is this Eric Wallace video coming out that you've been working on?
It's
for 7
almost
months?
done. It's almost done.
I feel like I've been waiting for it longer than the Flash movie.
I think I'm gonna premiere it the weekend of Fandom. That's when
Oh
I'm gonna
my
premiere it.
goodness! Can you do like a Photoshop angel descent from Eric Wallace, or is that not going to happen?
I don't know. We'll see what I can pull out of the.
Because you may be predicting
but...
something. You may be giving us a tease for what happens.
I mean, maybe it's actually really funny. And so yeah, it'll premiere then. So.
But by the way, did you hear? So have you heard the story about the Jay Garrick on the crossover on the Stargirl thing?
Mm-mm.
So apparently they weren't. There was a lack. They weren't sure if they were going to be able to use John Wesley's ship on Stargirl. So Jeff Johns had to ring Eric Wallace and they had to organize it and everything like that. Because also it involves getting the suit. The suit apparently was the hardest thing, and that was because it belongs to the Flash TV show,
right?
Even though it's like I know it's like a CW thing, it's still hard to. Apparently, even getting Black Lightning on Crisis with his suit was a drama because it was a very expensive suit. So yeah, it almost like apparently if they like had blocked the suit being.
Do you know how much those suits roughly cost each?
I know that. I think Grant's season 1 suit costs. I think they made 2 for maybe it was 4 suits for $100,000. I think, or maybe it was 2 suits for $100,000. But like, but then you look, yeah, they're expensive, and it's I think, but that includes like the time and everything. It's not just like the materials, obviously, but it includes the time and stuff like that. I'm interested to see what his suit, would cost this year and stuff like that. But
yeah. Staggervore, yeah, I understood what you meant. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, Barry from Another Earth. It is possible. Cody says Legends 100 in the current set photos. What an interesting change. I'm gonna have to dig into that because people keep talking about it. It's just bring back Matt Lesher. CW's too cheap to bring back. I think it's scheduling conflicts. Isn't Matt still working on stuff somewhere?
Well, do you want what has been put through the grapevine? Probably no one in here would know this as either.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is like gone through the grapevine in regards to like
what's up, Master Swag?
Certain Good things, but so remember in season, I might have mentioned this to Eric. I'm not too sure. It might have been Eric or someone else, but in season 5 when reverse, remember season 5, and you had Nora obviously, and you had Reverse Flash who was in that back half, like pretty much the entire back half. That was meant to be the Matt Letcher version. That was literally meant to be Matt Letcher there, but he was doing a show and they couldn't get him. So the fact that they couldn't use him there pretty much just cut it off. Like if Matt Letcher was able to do that, you would have actually seen him probably be the Reverse Flash for most of them, outside of maybe a couple of things where it made sense for it to be Tom Cavanagh's. But because you had a scheduling conflict at that point, I don't know if they got the shits and they were like, "You've ruined our thing," because I know for a fact as well he wasn't meant to be in the back half of season 3 as much. Reverse Flash as a character, he was only meant to be, I guess, in like the final 5 or 6 episodes or something, but he's in like the entire back half from memory. I think from like the midpoint of the season onwings. Like once.
So Naruto says here, Pagey, it is an officially licensed project. Talking about
I think the Batman thing.
Yeah.
Look at I was literally basing off the photos. It looks like a web series. Like, so look at this. Hold on, I'll share my screen.
All right.
Share screen, Chrome tab. Like, it looks like a web series. It looks like Power Rangers or something. That's not like an insult, but just the way it's shot. It looks
above average for a typical like web series, but below average for a TV production.
And like it doesn't look like a show. It looks like a web series.
So I agree. I mean, it might be officially licensed, but it does look world's okayest father.
I'm guessing that's to do about like Bruce Wayne or something. I think it's all the same photos. I think those are the only 4 photos that are out.
All right. Well, weird. Very, very weird. Detective Bat. Eric Wallace is the big bad this season. So, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, excited for Armageddon, excited for the behind the scenes photos. I'm pretty sure we'll see more come out eventually, but they're pretty much wrapping up filming on that. So we're going to start to see like photos from the rest of the season now as they're going through and filming that. So pretty excited. Cobra Kai meets Batman. Actually, it does look a little bit like that. Have you ever watched Cobra Kai, the TV show?
No, I never watched it.
Well, the first season, or I think the first 2 seasons were on YouTube TV or the YouTube Red series or whatever, and they got sold. But yeah, the production value is very similar to those pictures. But I like Cobra Kai. I think it's good, but it's very cheesy, like 80s good to me. So, but that's just me. So let's talk. Should I talk about Supergirl yet?
Zodiac Killer is trending number 2 on Twitter.
Oh, that's wonderful. Good to know. So this week's Supergirl, I don't even know the name. What was the name of it? Like something magic, the thinking magic or something.
I think I've got the magic.
Magical Thinking was the name of this week's episode of Supergirl. And this is the one where it says Lena is uncertain about her magical abilities to help Supergirl retrieve the second totem from Nixley. Williams struggles to write a story on the Super Friends that makes them both heroes and Andrea happy. If you guys are watching Supergirl this season, what the actual fuck are they doing with that show? That's what I want to know.
No swearing, Eric.
I'm just so confused. I'm sorry. I'm very confused. What is happening with Supergirl?
I've got the magic in me.
It's gone from being a halfway decent show to just not giving a shit anymore.
To an absolute shit fest.
So this week's episode, they have William there shadowing the Super Friends in their watchtower, and they don't have to. So he's there to create problems within them fighting and dealing with Nixley, but he doesn't have to be there. If you're having so much trouble with having this reporter there for an editorial piece, tell him to come back later. And William is so boring. Andrea is now so one-dimensional. Like before, at least her character had a story and there was something important that she was doing. You know, now she's just this evil editor. She's the editor-in-chief, the person running the business. And it's like, she doesn't have a story anymore. It's like so weird. Do you know, like, if you go back to like the late 90s, early 2000s, where they have like the reporter character working at a big newspaper and their boss is basically just yelling and screaming at them to get the story and this, that, and the other. That's all she does now. It is so utterly one-dimensional. Like, we complain about Iris having bad stories. Andrea has just awful. It's an awful, awful, awful storyline. It's really bad. Nobody cares about William anymore. If you're watching Supergirl and you care about William, I'm questioning why you're even watching the show. Oh yeah. Andrea also is hacking the computers of the people that work for her. You're the boss. You're the boss. You don't have to hack their computers. It's company property. It's so stupid. So this week we had Nixley trying to steal the Totem of Heart, I think. The Infinity Stone. I don't know. Whatever it is. It's weird that they call the challenges gauntlets on a storyline that feels like the hunt for the Infinity Stones. I'm just going to put that out there. So this totem, the challenge that she has to overcome is she takes the humanity away from people, and then she feels sympathy and empathy, and she cares for people 100-fold. Right? The totem of humanity. Okay. There we go. So anyway, she's got this totem and whatnot. So she's pretty much the entire episode, she's laying around in her ship feeling bad about the world. She can't even bring herself to steal another totem. I'm also questioning what all these totems are doing on Earth. That's another weird thing, but it's probably the least weird thing out of everything that happens on the show. Now Supergirl is connected to Nixley now. Have you watched any of the episodes recently at all?
What was the last episode I watched? Didn't watch the Kelly episode. It might have been the week before that.
So you're about 3 episodes behind then, right? 3 or 4
Might be
episodes
more.
Okay.
Might be more. Not even sure.
The only interesting thing they're doing right now is they have Supergirl connected to Nixley telepathically. There's a connection between the two of them. That's kind of interesting. If it were written in a really good season of Supergirl. So anyway, they're connected. That's probably the only interesting thing in the whole episode. So anytime Nixley feels something, Supergirl feels it. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be a thing that goes out for the rest of the season. It feels like that's the way they're going. So anyway, when Nixley takes the totem away, it causes a big group of people in the city to lose their humanity. So they start fighting. Now, keep in mind, this is the same thing that the Totem of Courage did. It caused people to fight. So the totems have literally done the same thing twice now. The same thing. So you know what the Super Friends do to save people? They go in the streets and they fight them. Physically fight them. Beat them up. Citizens who have done nothing wrong. And I'm not talking about like taking care not to hurt them. Kelly is out there smashing people's heads with her shield. Alex is using that Mars weapon on people. John phases his hand through a car door to grab the person in the car and pulls them through the glass window of the car. Keep in mind, the Flash spent a whole season explaining to us why it's wrong to always fight the villains, that you should try and talk them down. You should do things other than fight them. Supergirl has just went the complete opposite direction. If you are a person who happens to be possessed by an evil object that they were responsible for creating, the problem they're in or whatever, then you are just expendable.
And even Stargirl last week, or this week, sorry, just made a whole big thing about like victimizing the victim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
By the way, mid-rant dad joke. 3 conspiracy theorists walk into a bar.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me that's a coincidence.
Oh man. Yes, Alex and Kelly have a love relationship conversation during a fight, by the way.
Oh,
in the middle of the street. In the middle of the street. So we also have this other story going on where there's a alien kid, a little girl, Esme, who's adopted by a family, and the family gets attacked by one of the people who are possessed by the totem, and the little girl uses her powers, and it scares the family, so they don't want to be foster parents anymore. So it leads up to the scene where Kelly and Alex decide to adopt this foster child, right? That's what the scene is. But then you get this moment where this music is so loud in the background. Like, it's not like where we have it here where it's like low in the background or whatever. There's this loud song playing, right? And it's like, it's one of these inspirational songs, and the lyrics are something like, and you made the right choice. You saved the girl. And I'm like,
I know that song. It's called I Made the Right Choice and Saved the Girl.
But I'm saying, like, whenever something like that plays and the lyrics are literally telling you what to feel, they have dropped the ball at that point, because that means they didn't have faith that the scene was going to read the way it needed to be. So they had to find a song with lyrics that tell you how you should feel about the scene you're watching.
Oh, that's hilarious.
They did this a lot at the beginning of Batwoman season 2, where the songs were like, she's independent. She's going to take over the world.
A woman. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So like they're just two examples that stand out to me, but it happens all the time. It's manipulation with music. It happens on everything. Sometimes it's more subtle. Sometimes it's not. Like if you have a sad scene in an episode, of course, they're going to play sad music in the background to sort of like help you get into the moment.
Is that like?
Yeah, go ahead.
I won't say it. It's maybe a bit too edgy. Move on.
Well, I'm going to say this, like it happens a lot and I will complain about it a lot. But the issue that I have with it is when the music is louder than the dialogue and the lyrics are singing to you what you should be feeling about the scene. That's a problem.
By the way, a few days ago, I met Dwayne Johnson and I slapped his bum. I'd finally hit rock bottom.
I had a feeling something like that was about to come out of your mouth. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it says so because who was it said that you complain about Supergirl after every after party? Just stop watching. I'm watching it because of the fact that I still enjoy aspects of the show. And it's the final season.
There's actually a deeper conspiracy theory to this.
What's that?
There is. Look, I don't want to confirm or put Eric on the spot where he may have to deny this and potentially tear any binding contracts, but I heard he made a blood oath that he has to complete this season of Supergirl and discuss it in some form of detail every week. Well, otherwise he all 10 toes, or sorry, all 9 remaining toes, one was cut off as like a good measure deposit, they'll all be cut off and potentially he'll have to go beardless for the rest of his life.
There we go. The reality is if I don't like something and I really hate it, I just stop watching it. That's what happened with Legends. I got to the point where I couldn't take Legends anymore. But this is the final season of Supergirl.
Do we have to bring up Inhumans again?
Inhumans was the first. I'll always give a show one season. Like the first season of a show, even if I'm disliking some of the episodes, I'll at least give them the first season, like to see if I like it or not. But this is also on the flip side, this is the final season. Like I would watch the final season of Legends even if I was hating it, just so I could see how they end the show. It's like a train wreck at this point. Laurie says, don't forget about Lena. So here's another thing. Lena is now a witch because she wasn't already powerful enough as a super smart, brilliant, rich character. So they had to turn her into a witch, right? She sits she's on the couch with Nia and she's like, and this is totally just to speed up her storyline. She's like, magic isn't like an exact science. It's more about a feeling and you have to get the feel for it and blah, 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 whatever. That's the only reason they did that is because they don't want to take the time to have Lena spend 5 because they don't have enough time to do that. So they're not going to spend 5 episodes showing her how to learn magic. She's going to be the chosen one and she'll be able to just use magic out of nowhere. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then Nia offered to help Lena with her magic, even though their powers are not even remotely the same. And Lena cast a spell so that Nia gets her left and her right confused. So for her, right is left and left is right. And it'll wear off after a certain amount of time.
Yeah. What did the blanket say when it fell off the bed?
I don't know. What did it say?
Oh, sheet.
Oh my God. Yeah. So anyway, this Supergirl, even when it's not trying to tell a decent message, like this week there was literally no message, which I was actually kind of shocked about. It's just bad. If this wasn't the final season of Supergirl, would Eric quit? Yes, I would. Yeah, this would have broke me. Now I have a theory, and this is not related to this episode of Supergirl, but Melissa Benoist did an interview with Jimmy Kimmel, and she was asked about the show, and she seemed very excited to not be doing Supergirl anymore on the interview. She said she's glad she doesn't have to fly anymore because she hates being hooked into the harness. When they said, are you still filming Supergirl? Are you done? She's like, done. We are done. She seemed really, really excited about being done with Supergirl. And when he asked her about was she going to miss anybody, she goes, I'll miss some of the people there. Some of them? What does that mean? What is the drama behind that? That seems like pretty problematic. So the impression I got from her is that she has no intention right now of coming back and playing Supergirl. It seems to me like she's very happy to be done with putting on the suit and being strapped up and flown around. Yeah, the Jimmy Kimmel interview is on YouTube. It's 8 minutes long. The only thing that pertains to Supergirl is like the first 4 minutes. So yeah. I think she's done. Are you shocked about that? Because you and I both said that it felt like she was sort of dialing in her performances and stuff like that, and I do feel that way about it. I think she's just kind of sailing through the final season.
Yeah, but it's also the final season. It probably doesn't help either. Like, I don't know why they're doing this story in a final season. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, this final season should be like it's probably like a combination of things. Like, it should be like a personal story to Supergirl, but also she wasn't there for like what the opening 8 episodes of filming, and they had to work around it. So they're sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place in regards to that. But then again, even now, like they should have gone, okay, we'll do some story here. We can sort of we can paste her in, if you want to call it. And then the back half, you had 20 episodes. So do the first 10 episodes as something else, then the final 10 when she's fully there as like a straight up Supergirl focused story.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I must say, I did see someone trip over a bra in the store the other day, and it was like, oh, a booby trap.
Jesus, there we go. I'm also going to say before we wrap up the stuff about Supergirl that I feel as if they also used magic this season because it's the easiest thing to do without a lot of explanation. They can do anything they want. They don't have to detail it.
I am in support of drama. Is it Drama Mama? I thought it was Drama Rama.
No, Drama Mama was the joke that I made about it. There's no real title.
I think I would officially cancel your channel if you called it Drama Mama.
No, that was a joke.
But yeah, I do agree with episode 1 being Melissa Benoist hates some of the Supergirl cast. Our theories explained. That's so I would love it. So let me know in the chat. That's Eric's number 1. I think Melissa Benoist hates Supergirl cast.
We're gonna be figuring out the filming process this week, so get ready for it.
/ another story / Wallace Day versus Javicia Leslie. Ooh, that would be the edgiest video. But in the Supergirl or Melissa Benoist hates Supergirl cast, I want your top 3 or top 5 options for who Melissa would dislike.
Yeah. Anthony says, do you think Melissa will be back as Supergirl in the future? I mean, I'm not going to say she will never come back, but right now she doesn't seem to doesn't have any interest in it. She talked about her kid and doing a lot of work with her book and writing with her sister and stuff. She's very, very happy not filming a show right now. I think
we got to realize she was very smart. She used that final season. She would have done it anyway, but she used it to get this production deal where now she's probably got one of the easier jobs compared to what she like acting and doing that for the majority of the year. Now she gets to sit back, be a producer on things and act when she wants to. Like, she can literally pick and choose the project. She doesn't have to go to auditions now. She can produce her own project. She has this contract with Warner Brothers. She can go, no, I don't want to do it. We'll get, I don't know, Jessica Biel. I'm just picking a random actress.
She can literally create her own project. She doesn't have to audition.
And then she can also direct. That's probably why that'd be one big thing. Now she can do like an indie movie under her production banner that would be affiliated with Warner Brothers.
And she can put production wherever she wants. If she wants it to be in LA, it can be in LA.
So I don't know if she came with that herself or someone said, hey, maybe Belanti told her. Like, said, hey, maybe you should go use this. I can, back you up as well or something like that. But very smart. And I'm a big, I don't really like it how every man and his dog in Hollywood that's an actor or actress is becoming a producer, because it's actually a bigger issue than it seems. But she earned it. She did 6 seasons of it.
Mhm.
So in my opinion, she's smart to doing it. And
Oh yeah, absolutely.
and I don't think she's going to be one of those actresses that does it just so she can appear in everything.
Right.
Because some people do that, so I can appear on everything. I think she'll only do like
I
one
actually
every
think,
now and then.
I mean, people are saying that she's very smart. She is. That is what she did.
It's the smartest
is-
thing you can do as an actor or actress in Hollywood at the moment.
Yeah.
As long as you don't get greedy with it, which I
Yeah,
don't think she will.
As long as she works this deal out right, she doesn't have to deal with any drama with production for the rest of her career. So,
Yeah, she can control who and what is
Yep.
involved.
And she seems genuinely happier not being on the Supergirl set, which I did see a comment said somebody was like, what would Melissa do if she heard you saying this stuff about the show? I don't care. I mean,
she'd probably agree.
I don't really care. I'm not here to get approval
people
from anyone. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm giving
However,
my opinion on it.
I've heard that Melissa Benoist is going to the big dental convention that they're having in Nevada, Las Vegas.
I don't think Melissa is going to show up at any conventions at all. I think it would be very surprising if she even shows up as like a person. Might be there for something she's doing, but not for Supergirl.
Well, I don't know. Maybe she is going to the dental convention. I don't know. Maybe the next movie she's doing is about a dentist.
Yeah, maybe. Mike Glenn with the one-eye super chat. Will Superman be in the finale? No, probably not. I don't think so. I don't. You have to. Grant might, but I think at that point Tyler was. Were they still filming Superman and Lois when the finale?
No, they were gone. They would have been back in America.
So that means even less reason.
Unless they filmed it on like a green screen or something, like when they came back, but I highly doubt it.
So here's my prediction for the finale of Supergirl. This is just a rough idea of what we're going to see. Every character, with the exception of Alex and Kelly, will leave Earth in some way or another. John will go to Mars. Brainy and Nia will go to the future or to Argo. Supergirl and Mon-El will go to the future or go to
Wells
Argo.
Fargo?
Maybe. I don't know. Lena may stick around. Lena may just go back and live out her life with her, from where she was from or whatever. But I think the only characters that we will see living in National City and staying there is going to be Alex and Kelly, because they just adopted a child. So,
well, I know there was the story about I think Azzy Tesfaye. She was suing the airport for misplacing her luggage or something. She went to court and she lost her case.
Where's Canada Graphs to dispute these claims?
No, that was Toronto Graphs, I think, that Aaron has seen. Yes, it was Toronto Graphs, not Canada Graphs.
Anyway, so that's what I think. I think that's how Supergirl is going to end. We'll see if my predictions are right when we get there to that point.
By the way, would you rather be going to jail Robert Downey Jr. or post Iron Man Robert Downey Jr.?
Post Iron Man.
So you wouldn't want to go to jail, but then have the uprise and get to do Iron Man and all that.
No, because now he gets to live his best life, spending his money however he wants, and he doesn't have to work.
And being a producer.
Yeah, exactly. So Ben just messaged me and said that he was seeing James Bond. So that's what he was doing. So there we go. So that's why he wasn't here.
By the way,
yeah, what's up?
To whoever stole Ben's cow, he's got beef with you.
Oh my god. Jeez. All right, so we're pretty much wrapped up. We don't have anything really left to talk about. So we're gonna end things here. But we'll see you guys next time. This weekend, I'll be doing the Weekly Geekly. We're gonna talk about the finale for What If. Which, by the way, have you watched this week's episode?
Yeah, God. After like a mishmash of a Jesus Christ inconsistent season. They finished with 2 good episodes.
Yeah, I would say that.
Hopefully, season 2 is better. God,
I
that
will
was a
say
rough
that
ride.
the missing episode from the season makes me sad because it was pretty obvious in the finale that
Yeah, that
they
we're
were-
meant to have like interacted with them.
yeah, pretty much.
But
So
before we go, there is
yeah,
there is some sad news that's just hit Twitter.
okay, what is that?
I don't know. Like I've already started, so I may as well reveal it. Sadly, the guy who invented the fruit smoothie has passed away. He's being buried on Friday.
Is the joke the buried word? Is that what you're saying? Because that's awful. That's an awful dad joke. It's just bad. All right, we're out of here. See you guys next week. Take care.